Hey guys, it's Sherry Vegas and welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can use Jesmonite to create your own terrazzo chips. To get started, you're going to need some Jesmonite. Now, it is a bit hard to get in Australia at the moment just because of COVID, but you can get it. So Jesmonite comes in two parts. One part is your liquid and one part is your powder. And then you're also going to need your colors. Whatever Jesmonite colors that you want to use today, I'm going to show you how you can add the colors in to create those terrazzo chips. This is going to be a really quick tutorial, but I do plan on doing like a full beginner's guide coming up soon. This is just how to create those chips and then how to embed them into coasters. I just wanted to give a big shout out to Geordie, Penny's daughter. Penny and me have been friends for many years and she says you're a big fan of my channel, and that really means a lot that you watch all of my tutorials. To get started, you're just going to need a few items: scales, your colors that you're going to be using, some paddle pop sticks, obviously your Jesmonite. So it comes in two parts. One part is your liquid and one part is your powder, and they're sold in a set. Some cups to mix in, and some plastic sheets. So I just had these ones on hand and it's what I used to cover my tables in. So I've just cut them up to be smaller, but if you don't have this, you could always use like non-stick baking paper or even aluminium foil can work as well. So first up, I'm just going to turn my scales on and get it down to 0 with the cup in it, and I'm going to measure out. I like to measure in 2 different cups just so I don't accidentally muck up my measurements. So because I'm only going to be making a small amount of each color, I'm going to use 23 grams of the liquid base, and then I'm going to use 58 grams of the powder. So it's a funny sort of ratio. It's not a 1-to-1 or a 2-to-1. So you do have to make sure you're very careful when you are measuring out, not to accidentally muck up your measurements. So that's why I do recommend just doing it into 2 separate cups and double checking before you do mix them together. Alright, so now I'm just putting down my first piece of plastic. This is brand new, so it's nice and clean, but if it wasn't, you could always give it a wipe down. That's why I'm not going straight onto the plastic on the table, because this has little bits of resin in it and I don't want to accidentally mix those in. So I'm just going to put down another layer of plastic. And what I find is really helpful is a scraper or paddle pop stick, something that you can use to sort of thin it out across your surface area. I haven't added my color in yet. So these are super strong and you can get them in a few different colors. These are just little sample pots of Jesmonite colors. So I've got blue, red, yellow, and black. And obviously if you just want white, you just don't mix any color into them. You will need to know a little bit about color theory with these because they don't have a huge range of colors that can work in with it, and you do have to use the Jesmonite colors. You can't use pigments that you would use in resin. They're very different because this is an acrylic water-based resin. So it's very different from an epoxy resin, so don't feel like you can take like what you've used in your epoxy resin and put it into your Jesmonite. Even though technically it's classed as a resin, it's very different. So you have to make sure you get these colors. I would recommend adding your color to your clear first and then mixing them together. It's a little bit like making a cake where you add your dry ingredients into your wet. So with the color theory, because they don't have a huge range, you do kind of need to work out what you can mix to make certain colors, and these are super strong. So if you wanted to have orange, which I'm going to do, you would mix your red and your yellow together. And I would recommend maybe not dripping directly in because you might accidentally put too much in, so you can always put a little bit on the end of a paddle pop stick, just like that, and then mix that into your liquid. And you can keep adding, but obviously you can't take away once you have added. And I'm happy with that, so I'm going to just add another little drop of yellow onto the end. Some people also use toothpicks. So now I've got my orange color mixed up, so I should get like a really pretty sort of apricot-y orange color from mixing the red and the yellow together. I'm now going to start adding my dry ingredients. I just add a little bit at a time and work it in, that way I can mix through the lumps faster. So I'm really happy with that color. It's a really beautiful sort of apricot. I am going to spread it out now because it does set quite fast across my plastic surface. With my scraper, I am just trying to thin it out across my surface, but still maintaining quite an even width throughout this, so not over stretching it or thinning it out too much. I guess the best way I can describe this is sort of the thickness of a cheese slice. I can't really think of any other way to describe how thick you should make it. But if you do thin it out too much, it's just gonna, when you go to break it, it's gonna crumble into basically back into a powder, back into a dust, and it's not gonna hold into that chip sort of shape that you are after with obviously creating terrazzo chips. So if you do spread it out like that, really thin, and I'll show you there when I do go to crumble that, what will happen. It will just break up too much. So that's kind of a nice thickness. So I guess a cheese slice is the best way to describe the thickness. And now we're going to leave that one for about half an hour. It'll probably be done way before then, but we're going to start working on making some other colors. So these are dry now and it's time to break them up. I also just did a red color and I added 4 drops to make this like really vibrant red. So that was just 1 drop of the red, which makes a really pretty pink. And that was a drop of red, a drop of yellow, and this one was 4 drops of red. But a little trick too, as well as your cups, you can use what's left in here, so scrape out as much as possible, but you can also break up what's in your cup, and then you just get some extra chips as well. So you can go through and really break that up and then add all your chips in afterwards. But now it's time to break these guys up, and I'll show you how simple it is. Now that these are all dry, it's pretty easy. Your next step, you just have to start breaking them up. You can either like crumple them in the plastic, or you can stick it in a bowl and break it up that way. It's completely up to you. It's also up to you how big you leave your sizing. You can break them up really fine, or you can leave them quite chunky. It's just personal preference when it comes to making your chips. But I'll show you this side. See these? They're just too fine and too thin, and once you start mixing them in, they're just going to break down a bit too much and not keep their really pretty shape. They're going to kind of turn into a little bit of a powder. So you want to kind of keep them at that, I guess, cheese slice thickness is the best way to talk about that. But yeah, if you spread it out too thin, they'll just start to break down too small, and then you'll lose the sort of pattern that you're trying to create. So that's how easy it is to make your own terrazzo chips out of Jesmonite and then put them into some coasters. Obviously you can upscale this if you want it to do pots or anything else that you can make with Jesmonite. I am going to see if I can source something that is similar, because I know Jesmonite is the brand of this, and see if there's something else that's similar, because I know it's really hard to get at the moment, especially in the US and Australia, because I think it's made in the EU or it's made in the UK, but it's just not an easy product to get because I think it's still like starting to become a thing. So I'll see if I can find any other manufacturers that make something similar. But in the meantime, I do plan on doing a lot more Jesmonite tutorials, as I find it's really fun to work with. And I know technically it's classed as a resin, but it's just so different from an epoxy resin. So different, but I am really enjoying working with this. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, please do subscribe and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching.